Hello everyone and welcome to my balcony garden. Happy New Year. Today's video is all about Oxalis Tetraphylla Iron Cross. We're going to look at how to care for them when they're grown in pots. This gorgeous little plant is sold around New Year, so around this time it's to celebrate the coming year and to give us hope. And you can give this to a friend or family member as sort of a sign of good luck for the year to come. And to be honest, if this year is anything like the years before, I think we're going to need all the luck we can get. So like all my other plant care videos, this video is going to be in two parts. The first part, we're going to look at the plant itself, so how it grows, where it's native to, things like that. And then the second part is going to be all about the care tips. So I will insert below the time that you can skip to if you just want to know how to care for the plant. Other than that, let's get started. Okay, so our gorgeous little Oxalis Tetraphylla Iron Cross. It's also known as Tetraphylla Depii Iron Cross, and the common name is also the Good Luck Plant. It is a hardy bulbous perennial, so the plant is going to emerge from a bulb and it will come back year after year. It's native to Mexico and it was introduced to Europe during the Victorian plant collecting frenzy era. And it's super low maintenance, beautiful, and it's also non-invasive, so it's become a very popular garden plant. Oxalis Iron Cross grows very happily in pots as it does in the open soil. On my balcony garden, I plant everything in containers or pots or planters. And I'm going to see how this one goes. So if it grows quite vigorously during the growing season, I might actually divide the bulbs and pop this into a new pot. So I'm just slowly building up my Iron Cross collection. Am I actually going to say collection? No, the amount of plants I have on my balcony. So let's take a closer look at our Oxalis Iron Cross. One of the reasons this plant is so popular, other than that it's just so easy to care for, we have all growing season these absolutely gorgeous green leaves. They're actually compound leaves, they last the whole growing season, and each leaf actually consists of 4 separate leaflets. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And these 4 leaflets converge, they join here at the top of the stem, and at the bottom of each leaflet is a sort of dark burgundy marking. And when it all comes together, it looks like the shape of a cross, which is of course where the plant gets its name. The leaves also react to light, which you can already see now. So it's starting to get dark where I am and I'm filming here. And you can see that the leaves are actually starting to close. And this process is called nyctinasty, which is just like a sort of weird name. Anyway, this is a plant's response to light levels. So when it becomes dark, these leaves are actually going to close, or if it's a kind of overcast day, which is how it is now, they also begin to close. And conversely, when it's bright, when the light levels are very high, the leaves will open themselves up as much as possible. They will stretch out so that they can receive as much sunlight as possible. And of course, this is going to help with photosynthesis, producing foods, sugars for the plant, for growth and repair. In summer, the plant puts out these absolutely adorable sort of mauvey pink flowers. They're sort of funnel shaped, and the flower stalks actually come much higher than the leaves themselves. So the stalks could be maybe 25 centimeters to 30 centimeters high, and they will last until the first frost. So right into autumn, possibly even the beginning of winter, depending on what zone you live in. So they like fertile but free draining soil, like most bulbs, of course. They are actually not fussy though, the Oxalis Iron Cross. They can handle any type of soil, so any kind of pH, as long as it is free draining. That means you can use them in rock gardens or on patios. They're great for ground cover plants if you want to sort of fill empty pockets in front of a border or a container. They're also great in woodlands or woodland spaces in your growing space. Height ranges from about 15 centimeters to 13 centimeters. The spread is about the same, so they're never really going to get out of control. And if your clump does get bigger, like this one will probably do throughout the growing season, you can very easily divide them and just make more and more. And apparently, they're edible. Both the bulbs and the leaves have a sort of really sharp lemony flavour. I've never tried it myself, so if you have, let me know down below if they tasted good or not, and how to eat them, and sort of what to eat them with. So that was a little bit about our gorgeous Oxalis, how it grows, all that stuff. Now let's get into the care tips. So if you're placing your pots indoors, Oxalis do like bright indirect light, so a sort of west or south facing windowsill is perfect. If you have your pots outside, the same rules apply. They like a mixture of full sun and partial shade, which is unusual for an Oxalis plant actually, because they tend to be more adapted to dappled shade or shadier spots. But this one can tolerate both full sun and partial sun. When it comes to watering, if you have your pots inside, keep the soil moist but never saturated. So if you're a bit confused, I would maybe keep the soil a little bit on the drier side than on the indoors. This could be maybe 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how hot your home is and also how large the pot is. So basically, the smaller the pot, the faster the soil is going to dry out. If you have your pots outside, the winter, spring weather is going to take care of watering for you. Just keep an eye on the moisture levels, water when necessary, drain water away when there's too much, and make sure that the pots have holes at the bottom that's going to allow water to release or be released. In terms of temperatures, when we have our pots inside, no more than 22 degrees Celsius, and evening temperatures ideally around 12 to 15 Celsius. Our Oxalis are, as I mentioned before, are a hardy plant, but they're also a cool plant, so they're going to do much better in cooler temperatures. Soil, as I mentioned before, they like fertile soil, they like a good quality, humus-rich soil, but that is well draining. It can also tolerate any other type of soils. So when you buy your Oxalis in pots like I did, I've actually sown some more on the balcony, but I'm going to be doing videos next year on them and how to grow them from seeds or from bulbs. This soil is going to be fine, but just keep in mind, if you want to transplant your Oxalis at any time, so into maybe a larger container or out into open soil, make sure that the soil is nice and fertile and nice and free draining. So feeding, come spring, you can apply a slow release fertilizer or a liquid fertilizer to give it a boost. I would also apply a liquid fertilizer maybe once a month during the growing season. I use a good quality houseplant fertilizer and it hasn't let me down yet, so I would go with that. So once you have enjoyed your beautiful Oxalis, they've flowered, they've brightened up your life, they're going to eventually need a dormancy period. So like all bulbs, they need a period where they're not growing, they're just in the dark, they're chilling out, and then they can just rest and recover so they can begin the growth cycle all over again. So once you see the Oxalis leaves start to go brown and start to die back, this means the plant is getting ready to go into dormancy. So I would actually stop watering once you see that it's dying back. Once all the leaves are brown, the stems are brown, you can just trim them off right down to the bulb. Place the pot as it is in a cool, dark space for about 2 to 3 months. After that period of time, you can take them out of their dormancy, pop them on that windowsill, and I would water very sparingly. Once you start to see growth and movement, start to water maybe once or twice a week. And then the whole growing cycle starts again. So that was my video about Oxalis tetraphylla iron cross, how to care for them, the good luck plant. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you would like to support the channel, subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I hope you all had a fabulous New Year and Christmas period. I wish you all the luck in the world for this year, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.